Hello there, welcome to another lesson, scales. I know that word isn't exactly synonymous with fun, but before you reach for the off button, let me try and explain why I think it would be a good idea for you to learn a couple of scales. The first reason is it will really improve your overall technique on the guitar. You will improve your left hand's strength and dexterity and accuracy. You'll also be working on your right hand and you'll learn how to pick strings separately and accurately. And I think that overall your playing will become a lot more confident and assured. The second reason, probably the most important reason for learning scales, is they provide a really good way into single note playing and then into guitar soloing and improvising. So if that's something you want to be doing, then you definitely need to know a few scales, because scales actually provide a set of notes that sound good together, and then you can use those notes, mix them up a bit, manipulate them in various ways to come up with melodies and guitar solos. And even if you don't want to be a flashy guitar solo type player, you still might use single note stuff in your playing. If you're a folk player, you might want to connect chords together with some single note runs. You might want to throw a few melodies and things into otherwise strummy type of songs. So I hope that's persuaded you. Let's take a look at our first scale. This is a C major scale, and all a scale is, it's a series of notes that you're going to play low to high and then back again in order. In this particular scale, we're going to start at the 3rd fret on the 5th string. Then we've got an open 4th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, open 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open 2nd string, and 1st fret on the 2nd string. That's the highest note in the scale. Then we just go backwards back down the scale, so the exact opposite to what we've just done. We're going to go back to an open B string, 2nd fret on the G string, open G string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, open 4th string, and 3rd fret on the 5th string. That's the scale up and down. As far as the fingers you're going to use with your left hand, that's very logical. If a note is on the 3rd fret, we're going to use the 3rd finger. If a note is on the 2nd fret, we will use our 2nd finger. And if a note is on the 1st fret, we will use our 1st finger. So let me play the scale one more time for you, up and down, a bit more quickly. With the right hand, it's the same technique that we've seen before with our finger exercise. We're going to be very controlled and accurate with our right hand. We're just trying to hit a single string at a time. We don't want to be bumping into any of the neighbouring strings. So you need to be quite precise and use quite small movements with your right hand when you're playing this scale. Another benefit of learning this scale is you can actually use it to start learning some of the names of the notes on the guitar. This scale is a C major scale, and fairly obviously it starts on a C note and then it just ascends up the musical alphabet and down again. So you might already know your musical alphabet, but that runs from A through to G. There's no H, I, J, etc. in music. You probably knew that already though. And in the case of this particular scale, we start on C. We're going to go up to D, E, F, G. After G comes A, because there's no H in music, so we go back to A. Then we've got B, and then we reach C again. This is a higher C than the C we started on. That's called the octave. And then we descend back to B, A, G, F, E, D, back home to C again. So that's just an extra benefit of learning these scales. Another good reason for you to be doing this. Now, just as we have major and minor chords, so we have major and minor scales. And this scale is an A minor scale. We're going to start with an open 5th string, then 2nd fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 5th string, open 4th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, open G string, 2nd fret on the G string. That's the highest note in the scale. Then we're going to come back down, open G, 3rd fret 4th string, 2nd fret 4th string, open 4th string, 3rd fret 5th string, 2nd fret 5th string, and open 5th string. So the entire scale one more time. And the notes in this scale, we're starting with A, and we've just got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then we're back to A again at the octave. So it's straight up the musical alphabet, and then we come back down and it's G, F, E, D, C, B, back to A again. The last scale I want to show you is called the E minor pentatonic scale, and this is perhaps the most important of the bunch for the beginner guitar player to learn because it's the most widely used. You hear this scale all the time in rock and pop and blues guitar soloing. The word pentatonic is nothing to be scared of. That just means 5 notes, and there are indeed 5 different notes in this scale. We're going to start with an open low E string, then play 3rd fret on the same string, open A string, 2nd fret on the A string, open D string, 2nd fret on the D string, open G, 2nd fret on the G string, open B string, 3rd fret on the B string, open high E string, and the 3rd fret on the high E string. That's the highest note in the scale. Then we're going to reverse the process and come down the scale. There we go. The fingering rules are the same as for the other scales. If a note is on the 3rd fret, you're going to use your 3rd finger to play it. If a note is on the 2nd fret, you will use the 2nd finger to play it. And there are no notes on the 1st fret with this particular scale. Let me play it through for you one more time. And the note names in this scale, we've got an E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, and G. Notice we're going through all the names of the notes 2 times in this scale. It's what's known as a 2-octave scale, or technically 2 octaves and 1 extra note as well. And also notice that we're not playing every single note in the musical alphabet. We're skipping out some of the notes there. We're jumping from E to G without playing the F, and there's no B in there either. So get to work on these scales. I know on the surface they seem really boring, but believe me, just a bit of time spent practicing these scales will really benefit your playing in lots of different ways. I'm going to put the music to these scales up on the website, and one thing I should talk about, which I haven't mentioned so far, is how to write down these notes in guitar notation. And the good news is you don't have to learn how to read traditional music notation. There's a really easy system of doing it for guitar, which is called tab or tablature, and it's something you will come across an awful lot. And it looks something like this. This is the C major scale that we looked at earlier, and you can see we've got 6 lines there, and the lines represent the strings on the guitar. All you need to remember is that the line at the bottom represents the low E string on the guitar, and the line at the top is the high E string. And then all we do is we put numbers on the lines which show you which fret to press down at. So you can see here we've got the 3rd fret on the 5th string, then we've got a 0 which is an open string, got an open D string, then the 2nd fret, 3rd fret on the same string, we've got an open G string, 3rd string, 2nd fret on the same string, open 2nd string, and then 1st fret on the same string. That's the top of the scale, and then we just come down the scale the same way. So I think that's it for this lesson. Have fun, and I'll see you for another lesson very soon.